Hello, I am going to be doing the 2025 Superlatives challenge that Brady put together. The first read of 2025 was Arguing for a Better World, How Philosophy Can Help Us Fight for Social Justice by Ariane Shavisi. Every year I start the year on an intellectual arc. And so, yeah, that was my first read of 2025. I liked it. I don't think it was groundbreaking, but I did like it. Number 2, the shortest book that I read in 2025 was Animal Farm by George Orwell at 141 pages. Not much to say about that one. Read it in high school, reread it again as an adult. Looking back, I don't feel like I needed to reread it, but I just wanted to see what my thoughts on it would be with my 32-year-old mind. Number 3, longest book I read was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins at 652 pages. Number 4, the prettiest / favorite cover. I think I'm gonna give, it's a tie. I think I'm gonna give it to Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I just think that's such a beautiful cover. I felt like it encapsulated the vibe of the book very well, but also I do love the cover for The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. However, I had to look up whether it was AI generated art or not, because it kind of looks like it might be, but it's not. Number 5, a book you loved, but everyone else didn't. I will just copy Brady's answer here and say The Compound by Aisling Rawle. This is kind of like a Love Island meets Lord of the Flies situation. It's a very niche concept, but if that niche concept speaks to you, you might like it. If it does not speak to you and you happen to read this book, I don't think you will like it. Next is a book everyone else loved, but you didn't. I'm going to give this one to, unfortunately, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I gave this one 3 stars, which is to me saying that it was mid. It did not resonate with me as much as, for example, Circe resonated with me. Probably because I read all of the classics when I was back in school, so I knew what was gonna happen, except for obviously, I didn't know the love story between Achilles and Patroclus, but it just was not hitting for me. I don't know why. Number 7, the book with the highest average Goodreads rating that I read in 2025 was Morning Star by Pierce Brown. It has a rating of 4.54 stars on Goodreads, and that makes sense to me. I did quite love this book. Next is the most underrated book I read in 2025, and I wasn't quite sure how to answer this one, but I settled on the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. And the reason why I'm putting this book for this superlative is because I think a lot of her other books are very hyped, and I think appropriately hyped. I like them all, but I don't see many people talking about this one. It's the second in one of her trilogies, so I think it comes after, what does it come after? The Friend Zone. It comes after The Friend Zone. I think it was much better than The Friend Zone, and I do think it's better than the book that comes after, which is Life's Too Short, and I can show you, I did a review of that one in my book journal. Next, the most overhyped book I read goes to, unfortunately, Mile High by Liz Tomford. This was not for me. It was 603 pages. No romance novel should ever be that long. I felt like nothing was happening. I don't know. I just truly did not like this book at all. Sorry. I know it's very well loved, but it was not for me. Number 10, the book that I recommended the most was My Beloved. This is my favorite probably my favorite book of all time. This is my copy from when I was a teenager. And then also for number 11, the most read book per my recommendation. I don't know if anyone has taken my reading recommendations, but it probably would be The Hunger Games. Again, it has 9 million ratings on Goodreads, which is crazy. Number 12, a book you can't stop thinking about. I will give this one to I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. Definitely the most thought-provoking book that I read in 2025. I thought about it very hard while I was reading it. Then I thought about it very hard afterwards. Tried recommending this one to my friends in person, but it is kind of a hard book to describe. It's very heady and philosophical, but it is quite short. So if that appeals to you, it's not a huge commitment if you then end up not liking it. So I do recommend giving it a shot because I quite liked it. Number 13, my favorite book character. I'm gonna give this one to Georgia from The Conditions of Will. She has a very fun kind of party trick that she does. Also speaks to her character in the book, where basically she's able to read people's body language very well and like their micro facial expressions and kind of like suss out people's intentions, and she does it very well. But then I do also think she over relies on it and then also ends up misreading people sometimes. It's just very interesting. So I thought about her as a character a lot. I'm gonna jump a little here because The Conditions of Will was also, in my opinion, the best 2025 release that I read. Also, I just want to say I know this author is involved in a few different controversies online. I think she said some pretty racist things like 10 years ago. She has also admitted to using AI in her writing. The thing is, unfortunately, I love this book, so it makes the cut for at least this prompt. The most impactful book that I read in 2025 was Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I think this book came out a few years ago and it was popular then, but I had never read it. This is one of like the few books this year that made me cry. I thought it was a lovely book. Love Eleanor Oliphant as a character. She would be my second favorite book character of the year. Number 17, favorite audiobook. Again, this is going to the Hunger Games audiobooks. The first 3 are narrated by Tatiana Maslany, who, if you know, you know, she was in Orphan Black. This is dated now, but I used to love this TV show, and in that TV show she plays like a million different characters. It's a sci-fi, and so she does accents really well, and she is just like such a great audiobook narrator. Number 18, favorite nonfiction. I'm also gonna give this one to Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. This is my signed copy. Yay. Everything is Tuberculosis, The History and Persistence of Our Deadliest Infection by John Green. I also wanted to show you, I did a review of this one in my reading journal as well. I just gotta put in like a quote or something from it. And that is at the meet and greet that I went to earlier this year. You should definitely read it. It's informative. It'll make you feel like you know something about a topic that not many people know about, but perhaps should know about. For my overall top book of 2025, unfortunately, I did read The Hunger Games this year, and that is, like I said, probably my favorite of all time. But if I can't choose The Hunger Games, I will go ahead and pick Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It gives Hunger Game vibes, and maybe this is also controversial. It's my favorite book in the Red Rising series that I've read so far. I've read the first 3. I actually prefer it to Golden Sun, which is the second book, which is widely considered the favorite amongst Red Rising fans. But I just have a soft spot for the first Red Rising book, and I recommend it. My last book of 2025 was I Who Have Never Known Men, which I spoke about earlier, and I do highly recommend. So those were my 2025 reading superlatives. Let me know if there's any that you strongly either agree with or disagree with, and if you would have picked anything different.